What is happening, everybody? Tyson here with Garage Life, and we are done. I think we're finally done. So we're gonna go through. I'm gonna tell you what I've all done to this custom build. Then we're gonna take it out in the front yard, make sure it's running right, and have a little bit of a session with it. So let's jump in right now. You can kind of see here what I've done. I've modified a body to fit. I painted it up, took some of the logo, made the logo shiny, kind of matted the rest of the body, made it a matte kind of look. It's kind of like a grayish, bluish, blackish, kind of mixed a few things. I wanted it to kind of look weathered, but also like a matte gray stressed type of body, and then have some of the logo be shining through. So this is actually paint, it's not sticker, some shine, and then matte. So we get the body out of the way, and realistically what you have here is an MT410, Techno MT410, and we put it up onto a Techno Truggy chassis by M2C Racing. So this is the wide body M2C Racing 48.3 Truggy chassis. So it's a little bit wider than the Techno MT410 chassis is originally. It's longer than the Techno MT410 chassis is. So if I were to take, say, like my sledge and just kind of give it a comparison on top to the sledge, it's realistically about the same lengthwise. If I'm lining up these hexes, it's a tad bit longer, a few millimeters longer on the wheel hexes, and looks to be roughly the same width as a sledge. So we took a 10 scale, put it up basically to an 8th scale. So all built off of the 48.3 M2C Racing chassis. I did M2C Racing differentials throughout. I mean, as far as the cases, they hold a little bit more oil. You can see that in the build. We got the POS Racing front bumper, and so this is front bumper skid plate, made in Germany. It's got some flex to it, so I put that on there. Gives it a little bit of a cool look in the front, but it's also going to take some impact, and you can see it flexes a little bit here. So it can take some impact. I got the M2C Racing shock towers, as well as the shock caps and pistons in the shocks. They're the 1.3 around all four corners, and built in the emulsion style shock. I tend to like that style of shock. And I've got the Techno orange springs on here, which are a little bit heavier, to give it a little bit more stiffer, tougher suspension. Let's see, what else? We got the GPM Racing dog bones CVDs in the rear as well as the front. They're quite a bit thicker than the Techno ones. I think they're going to hold up just fine. I have them on my sledge and they seem to work really well. You got M2C Racing braces throughout, from the rear all the way to the front, which is super cool. It's stiff. This thing is a monster in here, so this thing is not going to bend. If it bends, I'm going to be super duper surprised. So what I did, as far as the electronics, I could put the Castle system in. We got the Mama Monster X. We got the Castle censored motor, and I do have the sensor cable on, so I'm going to run it censored for a while there. I have a Pro Modeler servo in here, and this servo is supposed to be pretty strong. So 505 ounce-inches of torque at 0.1 seconds, and I have this in a couple of my vehicles. I really love this servo. It's quiet, it's fast, it's strong, and it's durable. I also have the M2C Racing shock standoffs on here. So hopefully those will hold up well. Not that there was necessarily anything wrong with the stock ones. I just went with M2C because I was putting a lot of M2C stuff on here. Speaking of M2C, I also have the hex extenders on here to get it a little bit wider, mainly to fit a little bit different of tires and offsets on here, just to give it the ability to do basically whatever I'm wanting to do with it. I got the Techno low profile wing mount and wing on here. Whether that'll stay on here, I don't really know. I think it's a little weird. It might be a little bit too low profile for when you put the body on. Because when you have the body on here and you're kind of looking at the side profile, it looks a little bit low, and I can't really lower the body mounts in the rear any further than that. So I might either take it off or put on the regular profile body mount. I got the cables managed here pretty nicely, and then what I did, I have the B-Link for the Castle system, so the Bluetooth controller to where you can change parameters on the go. You don't have to hook it up to the computer, which is really nice. The problem is it goes in line from the ESC to the receiver, and so in order to do that, you're unplugging your receiver all the time. I also don't like the Techno receiver box nearly as much because it doesn't really, it's not waterproof. Let's just say it's not. It's got holes in a couple different areas. So what I did is I kind of just cut a side of it off here so I could run my cables. I bought a Red Cat Racing receiver box, and it actually lines up 100% perfect with the holes that M2C already has drilled in the chassis back here. So I just put the Red Cat Racing one on, and what I like about it is just a body clip and it opens up. So it's got, just a quick access. So if I'm out and about and I'm on the go, and I want to change any of my parameters on my ESC, I can hook up the B-Link real quick on here, pop that open, hook it up, be able to change any of my settings. I feel like receiver boxes are so hard to get into half the time, or you need tools with you, and it's like I really like this aspect of it. It's going to keep most of the contaminants out. It's not waterproof, and I don't even want to say that. There's not a gasket or anything in here, but there's really not any holes technically for it to get in. So for the most part, for what I'm going to do, it's going to keep the moisture out, which is going to be fantastic. I went with 900 CST shock oil all the way around. We're going to start there and see how it holds up. And then I just went ahead and threw a pair of the Copperhead, the D-Boots Copperhead 2 tires on that you would see on your 8 scale Creighton. So I think that is pretty much it. I did put bearings on all the way around, different bearings. Some ceramic is in here, mainly just to try them out, really. I didn't really have a purpose of, well, I need ceramic compared to something else. I wasn't really going for weight. I wasn't going for the least friction as possible because I'm racing or anything like that. I just did it because I wanted to kind of check out some ceramics, see what they're all about, and that is probably about it. I'm going to run it on, I think, 6S right away. We're just going to stay on 6S. I think it's kind of what it's going to be meant for, is a 6S system. So we're going to run it on 6S. We're going to see how this Castle system is in here, which I assume it's going to be fantastic, how the servo works. But I'm not ready to take it to the jump area yet, the bashing area. What I want to do is run it out in front of the house, kind of get a feel for how it handles, and see if I need to make any fine-tune adjustments. So we're going to strap the body onto this thing, and we are going to head out and see what adjustments we need to make and test this thing out in the front yard. So we will see you out there. Alright, we are outside. We're going to hit up this first run. Let me get the steering done right. pretty fast. This is just on 4S. I wanted to put it on 6S, but I didn't have a 6S charge, so we went 4S. Forest will kind of let me feel it out a little bit. Oh, took out the sprinkler. Yeah, guess it's gonna be there. Dude, this thing handles so nice. Oh, missed. It's a little bit of a small ramp to try to get a nice scale to hit. Even when you hit it wrong, it still flies. Sounds cool. Flies nice. Drives good. I mean, for 4S, it's got a little bit of grab for this big of a truck on 4S. Oh, 4S flip, there we go. And my battery's only at like 40% too. I didn't want to wait around, I gotta get to work. I wanted to go drive this thing. I wasn't sure if these tires were gonna look too big, but I don't think they do. Or how the wing was gonna look. But I think I kind of like it, just the way it is. No. Whoops. Oh, don't tell anybody about that. That was my bad. Don't tell anybody. That didn't happen. I can edit that out. Good thing my wife doesn't watch. This thing's got some get up and go. And some brakes. Alright, we're gonna wrap that up. FedEx is here, which is bringing my Creighton 4S. So that's freaking cool. And my work computer, I gotta go set it up. And then we'll go over this thing. Let's see, let's take a look at this real quick. Pull the body off. And we got to be getting the low voltage real quick here anyway, but I just got to get a little bit of a, figure out a good mount for the switch. But other than that, man, I think this is going to be my ultimate basher. We'll see how it holds up over the long run and hitting some big jumps. That's where we'll go next, is send it for some big air, bigger than what that little jump provides. So thanks for hanging out with me on this video and this build series. If you enjoyed it, make sure you subscribe, give a thumbs up. We're doing giveaways on GarageLifeRC.com, and we got more builds coming, so make sure you're subscribed, and we'll talk to you guys all soon.